Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and I think I have a screw loose. Today, we're gonna see if I can beat the game Pokemon FireRed with a single Magnemite. Magnemite is an okay Pokemon, so some of the positives of Magnemite, it has the Steel typing in this generation, and it also has a solid special attack and decent defense. Some negatives, see what I did there, of Magnemite are definitely its HP and its attack, but the biggest dagger of playing with Magnemite is the move variety. It has good electric moves and it can learn return, but honestly, that's about it, especially from a physical attacking perspective. If I had to guess, we're gonna have to be level 100 to win this run and probably need to use some double team strats. I typically write this as I go along in the video, mostly so I don't spoil anything on accident, because I probably would, let's be honest. For this particular run, we're going to go ahead and give the rival Bulbasaur. It'll mean a Venusaur at the end, which will probably be the hardest for us to take down. But the real problem, I think, is going to be the Rhydon that he has at the end. Rock types are going to be a huge problem for us in this particular run. But let's take a look at our Fridge Magnet. We have a Sassy Nature, which increases special defense but lowers speed, which isn't the best, but we weren't going to be winning any foot races to begin with. For an ability, we have Sturdy, but keep in mind, Sturdy actually works differently in this gen. Sturdy just means that moves like Fissure, Guillotine, and Horn Drill will leave us with 1 HP rather than being an instant KO. But for now, let's go ahead and hop into the lab battle. And Bulbasaur opens with Growl as we open with Tackle. Due to our resistance is about 1 HP per tackle, but due to our low attack stat, we're not doing much either. While we just go ahead and let the footage here roll, I'll go ahead and just say this early and get it out of the way. If you like this kind of riveting gameplay watching pixels chip 1 to 2 damage away at each other, make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I mostly at this point just want to be able to stop saying we're working really hard to get to 1,000 subscribers and increase those watch hours, which is still true, by the way. And we're finally done with the battle. We go ahead and do the beginning game stuff, and then go ahead and get up to level 6 where we learn Thunder Shock. That should be enough, so we go ahead and head back to the optional rival fight, and even at level 6, despite Pidgey doing decent damage with a crit, we take it to yellow, paralyze it, and then take it down next turn. We level up and then get hit with Growl, but we'll primarily focus on special attacks even if it isn't very effective. We do Metal Sound to lower its special defense and then go back to Thunder Shock, doing a little bit more, but not too much. Thankfully, we do win this War of Attrition, and we do manage to take Bulbasaur down with 4 HP to our name, but got some much needed early experience, and that let us level up twice mid-battle. After that, it's back through the forest, and I'm trying to think how we're going to face Brock. Let's be honest, Tackle isn't going to be able to do this, and due to the typing, we also know that Thunder Shock won't be able to do it as well. So before we even get to Brock, we go ahead and level up to 16, because at 16 we're able to learn Sonic Boom. 20 HP doesn't mean a lot at the end of the game, but at this level of the game, 20 HP set per turn is going to be pretty huge. Also, for the next bit of the game, especially for the rock types that we'll be frequently finding ourselves going against, this will be a huge component to actually let us win, hopefully on our first try. So Brock starts off with Geodude, and we use Sonic Boom, taking it to yellow as we get pinged for 1 HP before knocking it out. Onyx is next, and we get hit with Tackle, use Sonic Boom to take it to yellow as another Tackle pings off our metal body, and then we take it down to win the badge. Now that we're past the rock wall, I think that we'll be sitting alright for the next part of the game. Misty is a water type leader, Erica is, well, Erica, and unless you have a water type, typically not an issue, and then Koga can't really hurt us. We can't be poisoned, we can't even get hit with poison moves, and Self-Destruct likely won't be doing too much to us. But then, we have Blaine and Giovanni, who both have the potential to wall us, but that's future Bricker Boom problems. Current Bricker Boom is taking the Dome Fossil and then heading straight to Misty because we have no hands or feet to attack with. Misty first sends out Staryu, and we can open with Thunder Shock. Misty first sends out Staryu, and we can open with Thundershock, knocking it out as it only uses Harden. Next up is Starmie, and we get hit with Water Pulse for pretty solid damage as we critical hit it to take it down. Now, in the interest of honesty, this was our second attempt due to some bad confusion the first time, but don't worry, if you're here to see me lose some battles, I'm sure we'll have our fair share of that as the game goes on. Let's go ahead and see how we do against the rival. Pidgeotto is first, and it opens with Sand Attack. Great. Thundershock is still a one-shot, though. Rattata is next, and Quick Attack does just a couple damage, and we miss as it uses Tail Whip, and our next attack connects and knocks it out. Abra is next, and it can attack, so we use Thundershock, taking it out. Bulbasaur is last, and we use Thundershock, taking a bit of its health as it sets up Leech Seed. After that, given the HP it's getting back, we swap to Sonic Boom, and then we get put to sleep. It takes us a few turns to wake up, but by the time we do, Bulbasaur is back to full health and we get taken down next turn. See, I told you I'd be covering some losing attempts. 4 or 5 attempts in, we managed to go ahead and get back to Bulbasaur, and we do get put to sleep again. The only reason that we're able to knock it out is because we get an early wake up. But at least we're able to move on now. While we got some footwork ahead of us, what's the weather been like for y'all? Here in the Midwest, or at least Ohio, with the humidity factored in, we've reached about 100 degrees today. Tomorrow, I go into work and working next to a 463-degree oven is going to be rough. So pray to whatever ice god you believe in, whether it's Odin, Jack Frost, Elsa, it really doesn't matter who, as long as it sends some cooler weather this way. I personally can't wait for autumn, maybe winter. When we get to the ship, we make sure to go ahead and take down most of the additional trainers. Even though I don't think we're going to struggle coming up in the next gyms, it's not a bad thing to be prepared for the worst. But for now, though, let's go ahead and take a look at the rival battle on the ship. The rival starts with Pidgeotto, and we open with our new move, Spark, to take it down. Next up is Raticate, and it does use Tail Whip, then we knock it out with Spark. Kadabra's out and uses Disable as we swap over to Tackle, doing almost half as Confusion pings away at our HP before tackling it again. We swap over to Spark then, taking it out. Then, Ivysaur is out, and we don't do quite half as Vine Whip barely touches us. We swap to Sonic Boom for guaranteed damage as we get put to sleep. Vine Whip connects, and we stay asleep for a few turns before waking up and taking it out to win the battle. Now that the rival's out, we go ahead and grab Cut, grab our Diglett, and then skedaddle over to Surge's gym, hoping for a shocking outcome. Shocking for us, not him. Anyway. Voltorb is first, and Shockwave connects for a little bit of damage as we use Spark, taking it to red and paralyzing it. Surge heals up, and we use Sonic Boom, taking it to almost half and then knock it out with Spark. Pikachu is next, and we use Sonic Boom, taking it to half as Thunderwave connects. We swap over to Spark as Pikachu double teams, and we stay paralyzed. Shockwave doesn't do much, and we connect with Spark to finally knock it out. Last up is Raichu, and of course begins double teaming. And Spark connects to take it to yellow with a crit. Shockwave from Raichu doesn't do much and we do miss. The next set of turns involve us being paralyzed multiple times, or just straight up missing due to double team. Shockwave eventually whittles us all the way down to 4 HP before we finally get that clutch attack hitting, winning the battle, though it was incredibly close. That was a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Also, my kiddo was watching a video, and it showed Surge standing next to Ash, and this man looks like he is 8 feet tall in the anime. Man was probably taller than 90% of the first generation of Pokemon. Dude was a straight-up fighting type. So we have a good amount of travel ahead, and I'm sad that we don't get as much benefit from the game opening up as usual. We could still get Return that we'll likely need later, and we also make sure to grab Thunderbolt since Magnemite can't learn that by normal level up for some reason, but that's about it. Now, despite her being able to resist us, we go ahead and go fight Erica. She does have some grass moves that will connect, but the poison moves that she has will be completely ineffective. Erica first sends out Victory Bell. We use Thunderbolt, taking it below half as it uses Stun Spore. It pops off a Giga Drain, but we push past Paralysis and take it down. Tangela is next, and it sets up Ingrain, and Thunderbolt takes it down in one shot. Vileplume is last, and it uses Giga Drain, not doing too much to us, as Thunderbolt does about a quarter damage. We get hit with another Giga Drain and take it to low yellow, and then we can take it out to win the battle and move on. Now, there's a reason that I chose to fight Erica first, and the reason is Giovanni is scary. Something that I'm pretty sure I've never said in any of these videos. But with Onyx, we're not doing a lot of damage, but we settle, and swapping between Swift and Return, we are able to eventually take it down, and then we just have to do the same thing with Rhyhorn. Thankfully, neither of these Pokemon seem to have much more than normal moves, and with Kangaskhan, it tail whips us, we use Thunderbolt, paralyze it, and then take it down next turn. We grab the Fly HM, the Pokemon to use, Fly, and then we head back to the tower to try fighting the rival. The rival starts with Pidgeotto, and we open with Thunderbolt, taking it down in one shot. Growlithe is out and lowers our attack, which is fine, honestly. We're mostly going to be using Thunderbolt, and Thunderbolt also takes it down. Gyarados is next, and we continue with Thunderbolt, taking it down as well. Kadabra's out, and we use Thunderbolt again, knocking it out. And last up is Ivysaur. Thunderbolt takes it to yellow, and Sleep Powder misses, so we're able to go ahead and take it down. After that, we spend a bit of time losing to Marowak in the tower. With wild Pokemon, from my understanding, they basically pick random moves. I basically just had to keep trying until it stopped using Bone Meringue. Now, due to time constraints and totally not me forgetting to record the Safari Zone, here's a picture of Bean, Mitzi, Perdlock Holmes, and my dog Shade. Every like on this video will earn them an extra treat and head pats, by the way. Not trying to sway your decision by any means, but just keep that in mind. If you want them fat and happy, it's up to you. Time to fight Koga, and given the fact that he can't use poison moves, well, I feel pretty confident about this. Coughing is first, so we use Thunderbolt, and that takes it down. Muck is next, and Thunderbolt actually hits it with a critical hit this time, and that knocks it out. His second Coughing is out, and it also goes down in one shot. Last but not least is Wheezing, and we take it to red and paralyze it as it only uses a tackle. Koga heals up and spends a turn or two doing the same thing before we can finally take the stubborn ball of gas down. With Koga out of the way, we can go ahead and head to Silphco, and there's a couple different options. We can fight the rival, or if all goes horribly, we can go to fight Blaine, but that will also most likely go horribly as well. What we'll most likely do is, if we lose, we'll just go ahead and level up on the trainers inside the building. With Blaine having Fire-type moves, I doubt that battle will go well with us, even with their less than 100% accuracy. After getting access to the keycard, the bed, we head to the rival and see how things go. Pidgeotto's first, so he uses Quick Attack, and then Thunderbolt takes it down in one shot. Growlithe is out next, so we continue with Thunderbolt, taking it down with another shot. Gyarados is probably going to be a one-shot 150% of the time, but it does outspeed us this time around and hit with a small bite. Alakazam is next, and it sets up Calm Mind, which is horrifying, though Thunderbolt still takes it to yellow, and it, for whatever reason, just uses Future Sight before going down. Venusaur is next, and it immediately uses Sleep Powder, then wails on us with Razor Leaf while we take a nap, and we also end up taking the Future Sight attack, and then go down next turn. So, without any ideas, and as you can somewhat see here, we keep losing. So we go ahead and go through the tower fighting some of the grunts, and then we also grab some vitamins, both from inside the building and from the Celadon shop. After that, we run back to the rival, and then try again after a couple level ups. Pidgeotto's up, and we get hit with Quick Attack, and we use Thunderbolt, taking it down in one shot. Next up is Growlithe, and we can still take it out without too much of a problem. Gyarados, well, like I said before, it's a one-shot every time, but unfortunately it does use Dragon Rage for pretty solid damage before it goes down. Alakazam is out, and we continue with our Stormy Onslaught, knocking it out in one shot. Last up is Venusaur, and it hits with Razor Leaf for decent enough damage as we take about a quarter of its health. It misses Sleep Powder, and that lets us take it to low yellow. Then Sleep Powder misses again, and we take it to a Sliver, but then Sleep Powder connects. Razor Leaf connects to take us to 16 HP, but we thankfully get an early wake up, knock it out, and move on. So after a quick heal up, it's time to go ahead and see how we do against Giovanni. And we can take the Nidorino out with a single Thunderbolt. With Nidoqueen, we have to use Screech to lower its defense given our pretty pitiful attack. We take it to right around half with Return, and Double Kick does some insane damage. Next turn, though, we manage to attack first and take it down. With Kangaskhan, we take it to red as it uses Tail Whip, and then it goes down next turn. With Rhyhorn, it's doing a good job damaging us, but due to our Screech, we do take it out. Though the only reason we won is because of a miss, because we only have 5 HP left. With that, it's time to fight Sabrina, and we open up with Thunderbolt, taking her Kadabra out in one shot. Mr. Mime is next, so we could take it down as well. Venomoth is out, and actually does outspeed us, using Supersonic, but we break through that and take it down with a critical hit that I don't think we needed. As Alakazam comes out, we do smack ourselves, and Psychic does solid damage as it sets up Calm Mind, but we snap out of confusion and take it to yellow. Psychic then takes us all the way down to 22 HP before we finish it off and win the battle. Well, I think that's going to be the end of the easier battles, and even the easier battles weren't that easy. Magnemite's limited moveset is definitely starting to catch up to us, and the fact that, its attack isn't that great either. I don't think that we'll need the physical attack with Blaine, but let's go ahead and take a look, see how that goes now that we're in Cinnabar. Growlithe is first, and we use Thunderbolt, knocking it out, and then knocking Ponyta out with Thunderbolt. Rapidash is next, so we can knock it out in one go as well. Last but not least is Arcanine, and Fire Blast connects to immediately knock us out without a second thought. So, fun fact, because I did attempt this battle multiple times, Rapidash, the only reason that we outsped it is because of the Quick Claw. Because we definitely don't in the future attempts. So, that's not great. After a few level ups, we're still one-shotting the first two Pokemon, and our Quick Claw does activate to make us outspeed Rapidash this time around. It then activates again against Arcanine, and we get a critical hit to give us probably the luckiest attempt ever that finally ended in a victory for us. Now, I've covered a pretty decent amount of lost attempts in this particular run, but I hope that you'll forgive me if I don't do this with Giovanni. The reason being is I was 100% correct when I said before that he would probably be a big issue. Giovanni has Earthquake, and that is absolutely destroying us. To be completely honest, it even took us a while to get past the Ace Trainers in his gym, so he's having absolutely no problem ending every attempt just by spamming Earthquake. So what we end up having to do is actually level up to 100, and wouldn't you know it, we're still getting absolutely annihilated. By my own quote-unquote rules, I don't use Double Team unless we get to level 100 and we're still losing, and at this point, I think that criteria has been met. About 20 attempts in, at level 100 plus Double Teaming, we open with Double Team, building up all 6 and then swapping to Screech before taking down the Rhyhorn in 2 attacks. Without the Screech, it takes about 5 hits. After that, it's Dugtrio, and that goes down in 1 shot. Nidoqueen goes down to red, misses, and then Giovanni heals up before we take it down. Nidoking manages to pop off an Earthquake that takes us just below half before going down. Then after that, we repeat the Screech and return process with the Rhyhorn to finally win this absolutely grueling battle. To be perfectly honest, I don't like using double team strats, but in an event like this, I don't think there was a way around it. If you think that there was a way around it, let me know. If you have footage, that would be even better. Well, let's just hope the Elite Four goes a little bit smoother than this battle did. We have one more fight against the rival before we head to the Elite Four. Pidgeotto's first, and we're able to outspeed and take it down in 1 shot. Next up is Growlithe, and we can take it out in 1 shot as well, then repeat the process with Gyarados. Next up is Rhyhorn, and we do very bad damage with Return, so we Screech it, and thankfully it's just using Takedown. It may not have Earthquake yet, and we take it below half as it misses its next attack. We can take it to red, and it connects again before it goes down as well. Alakazam is out, and we outspeed and 1-shot it. Finally, it's Venusaur, and we use Thunderbolt, taking it to yellow as Razor Leaf does a little bit of damage, and then we take it out. Now that we're almost at the end of the game, and because I forgot earlier, I'll do a small review on Magnemite. Again, mostly because I forgot earlier. Magnemite is a rough Pokemon to use. I think given the proper setup or synergy with other teammates, it could be pretty decent. But in a solo run, it's just not going well. It doesn't have any setup moves or anything that can make it a little bit more powerful or a little bit more bulky. The main issue, especially, being its attack stat. I didn't think we'd have to be level 100 before the Elite Four, but here we are. We do have some more battles to go, and I'm not sure how they'll be. I think Lorelei and Agatha will be pretty easy. Bruno, I think, will be a problem, given the fact that, 2 Onyx both know Earthquake, if I remember right, or at the very least Rock Tomb. And Lance should be simple as well, especially with Dragonite. I think the Dragonairs could be a problem, but to take a quick look, these are our stats, and our special attack is actually pretty good. But that physical attack, if you hear commotion in the background, my cat is playing on the banister nearby, so I apologize. I am very clearly stalling here. So, well, the cat thing actually is happening, but let's see how we do against Lorelei with our type advantage. So with Lorelei, and I don't get to say this too often, as you know if you watch my videos, but we absolutely destroy her team. Every single one of her Pokemon is a one-shot, and that lets us move on to who I think is going to be the bigger issue, and that is Bruno. With Bruno, we have to actually set up a full thing of double teams and then Screech the Onyx before swapping to return to take it down in 3 turns. Technically 6, but Bruno did heal. After that, the next 3 Pokemon that he uses are able to actually get one-shotted by Thunderbolt. Then after that, with the last Onyx, we Screech again and are able to take it down. Though my heart dropped to my stomach when we saw that Earthquake connect. This was attempt 7, by the way. Now we have Agatha, and just like with Lorelei, we're able to outspeed and one-shot the entirety of her team. Nothing too special to cover here, and thankfully no frustrations or surprise Earthquakes from Arbok, because knowing my luck, it would have probably knocked us out. With Lance, Gyarados is out first, so we hit it with Thunderbolt, taking it out in one shot. I was a bit unsure, but we actually take down the first and the second Dragonair, both with 1 Thunderbolt each. Dragonite is next, and we Thunderbolted as well, taking it all the way to red as it only sets up Safeguard. Lance does spend a bit of time healing, but we do end up taking it down with a critical hit to win that match. Last is Aerodactyl in his team, who outspeeds and does chip us with some damage before going down. But thankfully it didn't receive any kind of Omni Boost off Ancient Power, so we're able to take it down and move on. Final rival time. Pidgeotto's first, and we use Thunderbolt, taking it down in 1 turn. Arcanine is next, and we get hit hard by Flamethrower, and getting an unlucky burn on top of that as well, but we do end up taking it down. Rhydon is next, and given our cut down attack, we barely do any damage and get knocked out by Earthquake. Next attempt, we start by double teaming, and in that time we get hit with the Sand Attack and Feather Dance. As Rhydon comes out, we manage to connect 2 Screeches, but then it takes us down with Earthquake. With this battle, I attempted it 242 times. Yes, I counted on an index card near me. There's a lot of things that we need to make this particular battle happen. First, we need to build up all 6 double teams. Second, we need Feather Dance to miss and preferably Sand Attack if we can manage. Third, we need Arcanine to miss or the Quick Claw to activate to be able to take it out with full HP remaining. Last, we need to Screech the Rhydon twice preferably before we can even do halfway decent damage. But the problem is the times that we do get it to red, the rival ends up healing up. So it's with a heavy heart that I have to say, this challenge cannot be completed at least by me. I think what I'm going to eventually do is do a Heart Gold run with Pokemon that I haven't been able to complete challenges with, mainly being Chikorita, now apparently Magnemite. I believe I couldn't beat Red with Heracross. They're few and far between, since most Pokemon, you just need the luck to line up, but I think I have 3 Pokemon available so far. Anyway, I'm going to get started on next week's challenge, which is going to be a Grumpig in Pokemon Emerald. It's a Psychic type in a game filled with Dark types, so I'm sure that's going to be just as painful. Sorry that I wasn't able to beat this run. I hope that the video was still fun for you, and as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out!